So this is my living room here on a basement here. It's quite a big living room. And what I'm doing here, I'm actually putting tile on the floor. But you know, before you're putting tile on the floor, you have to try and see how they look. And also you have to see if the floor levels, okay? And what happening here, you can see I already started grinding the floor here in another place. But that's what I want to show you. The floor is almost flat, but there are 2 or 3 points where there is a curve, and the curve actually going up. It's not curve that's going down that you can actually cover it. So you actually really need to grind the ground. Now, if you want to use a self-leveling, it will cost you thousands of dollars, okay, just to put all the area here, which is almost 500 square feet, okay. Instead, what you're going to do, you're going to actually grinding the area where there are small, let's say, bump or curve that going up, okay, and we need to really grind them. So that's what I want to show you how I'm grinding this area. There is another area here, and here there is another area that I want to grind it. You can see it here. I actually just mark it here. This area have to be grinded, and I want to show you why I need to grind this area. So I put a small level here, and you know the level is exactly in the center, but what you can see here, you can see the way it's look, here the gap, and you can see here the gap, okay? So if I'm going to do something interesting like that, you see what's going to happen here? Now that is more than 2 millimeters, and that's going to be very dangerous if you're going to put a tile here. I want to show you what happened when I'm actually putting a tile here, how it's look like. So even the thin set won't correct it, and what happened eventually, the tile will break. So you really have to grind this place, and you can see here I mark where you have to go because I actually move this level here until it's, you see, until the point is okay. Here it's okay, but then if I put it here, you can start getting this movement here. Okay, so this place I need to actually grind probably 2 to 3 millimeter of this concrete, and that's what I want to show you. I'm going to do it with a small grinder, okay, that I using, and I'm using also protection that it suck all the dust. Okay, and that's another thing I want to show you. So here I put a tile. You can see here exactly on the middle where is the bump, okay, or the curve that's going up. Okay, we have a small hill here, okay. Now you can see if this is a tile, I'm actually walk on it, you cannot almost hear nothing. And that is another tile, I can actually try to push it, nothing move. Okay, but let's see what's happening if I'm actually walk on this tile. You see, so you can see how this thing is actually rocking. And guess what? If you're going to put thin set here, that will not correct the issue here because the gap is almost 2 millimeters. And that's what is the thin set. So you really need to go, unfortunately, you have to actually come in here and actually grinding this area good until it's going to be flat. So this is the grinder I'm using. It's a 4.5 inch grinder from a company called Craftsman. Okay, and that's one of the best grinder because the speed here is actually 12,000 RPM, not 11,000 RPM, and it's 6 amps. Okay, so that is the one that I purchased and I use, extremely useful. And guess what? It's not expensive. I bought it on Amazon. It actually cost like $35 because the company Craftsman went to bankruptcy, as you know. And there is another thing I bought on Amazon. It's called 8 Life. You can see here. Okay, it's actually the surface grinder dust shroud, I think, for angle grinder 4 inch to 5 inch. You can see it here, and I attach it to this grinder. You can see in the other movie how I'm doing it. Okay, and here what I'm doing here, I'm attaching it to a vac pipe here, okay, that it will actually take all the dust, suck all the dust. Here is the vac, the shop vac here. You can see the vac here, the vacuum here. So it's very simple and it's working, and guess what, you can do it yourself. Now I'm going to grind it here, the area, okay, and I would like to take actually maybe 2 to 3 millimeters of this area. Usually you have to grind probably the width should be like 2 to 4 inch, actually 4 inch width, that you will eliminate this curve that's going up, okay. First thing you have to do, you have to turn this on. And when you use grinder, you really need to use N95. Doesn't matter if you think there is no dust. This is an extremely important to use the N95 and the glasses, okay? You can use the glass here, here's the glasses that you can use. So both of that thing very important. Also protect your knees here, the protection for the knees I'm going to use when you're sitting on a concrete, really very important also. So after I actually set up the grinder, as you can see here, so what you have to do really, just make sure that you put this tape, the Gorilla tape here, to attach the pipe properly. And here I also connect this slider here that I don't want him to move when I'm grinding, okay. And you can see here it's actually sealed when I actually put it on the floor, you see, like that. So when you put it on the floor, you really need to press strongly that to grind, okay. That's one of the things here, you have to press it, because otherwise it won't grind, okay. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go and grind this area that I showed you before. So that's the first grinding, layer. So I'm going to continue grinding to the right side now. But you can see dust are not running out of this grinder. That's very important, because there are two things with this dust. First, if it go out, it will go all over this living room. Second, it's very dangerous. It's containing silica that is actually cancerized 100%. So that's why you really need to buy this aid, the dust shrouder, to remove the dust to the vacuum. So that's an extremely important thing. So what I'm doing now, I'm actually putting this level, okay, and you can see there are still a lot of grinding to put here and to grind here. Okay, so that's what I want to do next. I have to go and grinding a little bit more. Let me see, until this area. So really I'm using this pencil here to show where I have to grind here. Okay, so this is a dirty job, but guess what, you have to do it if you need, because there is no other way. Else you're going to use a self-leveling layer, but that will cost you thousands of dollars in this kind of area here. So I finish grinding here the area. Let me show you. It's quite probably like 1 foot by 1 foot even a little bit more, let's say 1.5 feet by 1 feet. But you know, if you have a bump, usually from the center of the bump, you need to at least 1/2 foot from each center usually. Sometimes you have to take 1 foot from the center. So that is the way I actually grinding with this small grinder here. And it took me probably 15 minutes together with the references, put the reference and see if it's working. So let me show you the result here. If I put now the level here, as you can see, it's not anymore rock like before, okay? You can see it here, no gap at all. Okay, so that's the first thing we actually fix here. So that is almost flat. Nothing is exactly flat, but it's almost flat, and it's okay because the thin set, we're going to put thin set and it's going to be okay. So let me show you how the tile, actually, when I put the tile here, how it's look like. So here I put a tile here. As you can see, I can work on it, move it, and it really doesn't rock anymore. Okay, so it's really, if it's a rock, it's a very small minor rock that the thin set will really correct, there's no problem. So now we can actually go and start putting tile here. Thank you for watching this video.